Why wallow in slavery from 175 years ago? All you are doing is continuing a slave mindset. I literally laughed when I saw this one. This chick, this chick. Okay, like I know we're about to get into some real historical nuance here. This chick either has a black boyfriend or mixed children. Absolutely sick of the spineless white guilt cowards we have in our race. WTF is wrong with our liberal white women? They literally want to hand a knife to people that openly and proudly declare their hatred for whites in America. Laughing, cry face. Sir, we're teaching history with books and archives. There are no knives involved. It's mostly PDFs. And nobody tells archaeologists, why are you digging up ancient Rome? That was forever ago. Just let it go. But 175 years of American history, suddenly it's too far back. Hi, I'm Danielle Romero. Thank you so much for being with me here on my channel where we talk about American identity and family stories. And before we jump back into those unhinged comments, come on over to Patreon with me. We can chat, you can direct message, patreon.com/NYTN. Also, you could send me a coffee at coffee.com/NYTN13. And I am drinking a lot of coffee. Let's jump back in. Over the past few months, I have probably gotten thousands of comments. I mean, it's kind of more than thousands. Most of them are very thoughtful, very sweet. You're sharing your family history. You're just sharing your interests with me. And then there are these. Today, I'm going to count down top 9 worst comments I have received over the past couple weeks. We are starting at number 9, and we're going to work our way down to the most unhinged comment. And I cannot stress this enough. If comment number 9 makes you go, that's not so bad, please just wait. We have nowhere but down to go from here. Grab some popcorn, grab a Diet Coke. I don't know. This is going to be fun. Let's jump into number 9. And please stick around for number 1 because I genuinely would like your thoughts on it. I'm for real. Like I need you to help me with that one. So starting strong with comment number 9. When is this ever going to end? So tired of hearing about this garbage. Now, this was on a video that I did this week that was about how to find preserved audio on the Library of Congress website. And in particular, I was sharing just a tiny bit of clips of people who had been enslaved and they were giving their recollections. And so this was a video about the 1940s, really, history that was less than 100 years ago when this man was speaking about his experience. You know, I would call these recent, right? In light of, human history. Look, maybe this person thought they were clicking on a video about garbage trucks. Honest mistake. The algorithm has been very weird lately for me, maybe for you as well. But calling American history garbage is such a choice. It is such a bold choice. Like, sir, this actually happened. These were real people. And it's not fan fiction that I wrote. I didn't make up the 1930s or I didn't make up slavery. People lived through this that didn't get to opt out of the situation. They couldn't just say, oh, I'm tired of this decade and skip to the next one. But honestly, given what the next few decades had in store, maybe they would. Anyway, benefit of the doubt for this guy. Maybe he just really hates learning. Some people are like that. All right, number 8. Comment 8 is delightfully brief. Just a comment about me virtue signaling. So I made a video using primary sources, which I usually do. This was the same video showing where you could hear enslaved people's own words. That's just called history with sources. You know, the thing historians do. I definitely love getting demonetized and flagged by YouTube for sharing primary sources because it is such a virtue signal. But honestly, it's just like, this is scaring me. I don't know how old these people are. It scares me if you're young. It scares me if you're old. Okay, comment number 7 is one of my personal favorites because I have literally read this dozens of times and I still do not know what it means. She said, cyber slap upside your face. There, that's from the patriarchy. Okay. I imagine this person sitting at their computer watching my video about like 1920 census records or whatever and just going, not on my watch. The patriarchy must be defended. Time to cyber slap.
That is out of here, mister!
I still don't really know what that means. Whoever you are, patriarchy representative, I hope you're having a good day. I hope the patriarchy is treating you well, and I hope that you're getting paid overtime for watching my videos. Comment number 6 had some notes for me. Quote, you've always got so much energy for Black people, but you've hosted a WS and never criticized whiteness. Oh, you're boring. But here's my favorite part. Also, you're boring. Okay, so that's fine. Most people, when they find something boring, like if I find something boring, I just leave. I watch something else and then go and live my life, but not this person. This person has decided to stick around and actually regularly inform me that I'm boring. And I think that's beautiful, honestly. Like a weird parasocial life. Comment number 5. Okay, this is the top 5. It's going to get weirder from here. Quote, you seem jealous that you can't fit in with FBAs. Who makes a YouTube page over this? Sad. Okay, so I did a whole video responding to these kind of comments before. FBA is supposed to stand for Foundational Black American. It means that your ancestors were enslaved here in the US. Okay, I do have enslaved ancestors quite a lot. I've done many videos researching them, researching the plantations that they lived and worked on, bricks that they've made. I've got the whole genealogical paper trail. So technically, I would be FBI, I guess. But I don't, because I don't like those kinds of labels. And I feel like my identity is more complicated and important to me than just throwing some acronyms on there. Personally, that's just how I feel. But the assumption that I'm jealous about not fitting into a category that I literally have ancestral ties to is interesting. Also, this is also my favorite. Who makes a YouTube page over this? Sad. Me. I made a YouTube page over this and it's doing pretty well. Thank you for contributing to my watch time. So you're really helping in your own very special way. All right, number 4 is coming in hot. We got all caps here and emoji prayer hands. Why don't you just let African people talk about African people? You're not qualified for this position. Thank you. This video was, again, the video where I was showing how to listen to enslaved people's own words. I'm like, go to the Library of Congress. Do your own research. Don't just listen to me. Here's their testimonies. Here's how you find primary sources. The entire point of that video is to let people speak for themselves. It's a perfect misunderstanding of the assignment. Second, you're not qualified. All right, so, like, bad grammar aside, if you're going to question my credentials, this happens a lot, please just proofread your comments, okay? Like, throw them at me. Throw me all your zingers, but please don't use the wrong your. Third, the thank you in all caps with praying hands emoji is such a power move. Like, I literally laughed when I saw this one. Like, I'm being condescending, but also spiritual. Listen, I get it. Skepticism about who gets to tell stories is a thing, right? History has been told badly by the wrong people for a long time. And when I say wrong people, it's not because there are necessarily right people to tell it, but you've got to do the thing justice, right? But I would say maybe watch the video first before deciding that I'm not qualified to share primary sources. Listen, I don't know what's going on in the school system right now. I have not taught in the school system for 14 years. I homeschool my kids now. What is going on? What is happening out there?
I hate this school.
Nobody seems to have any idea what a primary source is or how it works or what it means. And I'm kind of disarmed by these. All right, comment number 3. We're in the top 3 now, and it's about to get really spicy. So, this is a long one. I'm going to read as much as I can. Quote, absolutely sick of the spineless white guilt cowards we have in our race. WTF is wrong with our liberal white women. I'm not a liberal. They literally want to hand a knife to people that openly and proudly declare their hatred for whites in America. Laughing, crying face. Absolute embarrassment and disgraces to us. More laughing and crying. Thanks for attempting to lead the way in your own people's downfall. Laughing, crying, morons, laughing, crying. How many black men attacked white women just in the last 6 months alone? Laughing, crying, y'all are idiots. Laughing, crying. Thank God I like Asian and Latina women. Boy, this person would be disappointed if they saw my last DNA test. Okay, 7 laughing, crying emojis. There are 7. So this person decided I am a spineless white guilt coward, which is a lot of adjectives. But here's the thing. I'm actually not who you think I am. I actually have very mixed ancestry. And so your entire thesis is based on the wrong information. It's like you went to a restaurant, went home, and just reviewed a totally different restaurant based on a totally different menu. It's like, sir, this is a Wendy's.
Dude, this is a Wendy's restaurant.
Also, handing the knife to people. I want you to understand, this is like, we can laugh and have fun, but what this person, handing the knife to this person was me, again, going to the Library of Congress and being like, here's some primary sources. Sir, we're teaching history with books and archives. There are no knives involved. It's mostly PDFs. And the grand finale, like, thank God I love Asian and Latina women. my brother in Christ, you have just told on yourself in the worst way possible. I don't think that you really have a problem because your principles were attacked. I think it's because you don't like being disagreed with. All right, comment number 2 is the essay. This is a magnum opus. This is a 200-word manifesto, but it's still not as bad as comment number 1. All right, this chick, this chick. Okay, like I know we're about to get into some real historical nuance here. This chick either has a black boyfriend or mixed children in her family. She spends a lot of her time defending blacks who see her not as an ally, regardless of how hard she works on their behalf, but as a Becky, even if an Italian version. They hate you. Okay, I think this person's switching to not talking about me to talking to me. Desegregation has been a disaster for whites for obvious reasons. President Lincoln wrote in a letter to a friend that the freed slaves would have to be repatriated back to Africa because they were unable to live, function, and positively contribute to white society. If they are not returned, the consequences would be catastrophic. His words, not mine. History has proven him correct. Separate but equal worked. Give them their own separate tax base. No white money. Oh my gosh. And see how fast they collapse. It would look like Haiti in just a few months. Okay. We actually have to get into some history here. I know we were all here for laughing. We got to chat. And the payoff will be comment number 1. So 200 words. This person wrote an essay with a thesis statement and a conclusion about Haiti. So first let's talk about black boyfriend, mixed kids. So my husband's Puerto Rican and Mexican, also English. Our kids are mixed. And I've been married for 16 years. Yeah, happily married with my 3 kids. So gold star for him. He didn't know about my kids. But the rest of the detective work, sadly, no more gold stars. So the Lincoln thing, I did a video on this. Lincoln did support colonization. It was a plan, but his views evolved dramatically. And I want to point you to that video so I don't use this video to explain what happened there. When they were trying to send enslaved people, the idea of after emancipation, providing them with the ability to colonize other places. Well, it was a catastrophic failure because the US totally dropped the ball on these people. Okay, so I did a video on that. So that's one part. I want to actually jump to Haiti, if you don't mind. So I've actually been to the Dominican Republic, which is on the same island as Haiti. And Haiti became independent in 1804 after the only successful slave rebellion in history. And France basically said, okay, cool, now you have to pay us your reparations though, because you freed yourself. Like, France forced Haiti to pay slaveholders 150 million francs for the crime of not being enslaved anymore. That is 10 times what the Louisiana Purchase cost the United States. So Haiti had to pay that debt for a long time. It was 122 years, I think. In today's money, it was like 20 to 30 million. No, excuse me, 20 to 30 billion. I think I read. Scholars have called it the greatest heist in history. Okay, so when you use Haiti as the example of, see, they can't even govern themselves, you are literally ignoring 2 centuries of active sabotage on these people and exploitation. That's just the facts. That is not evidence of anything except like deliberate destruction. But yeah, definitely blame Haiti for that. Okay, comment number 1. This is the worst comment I have received in the last month at least. Not the most racist one. Oh, I've gotten some bad ones. Not the most violent. Gotten some bad ones there. But I would say this is the worst. We're going to talk about why. Again, this is a comment on the Library of Congress video where I said, and here's how you find sources. Why wallow in slavery from 175 years ago? All you are doing is continuing a slave mindset. Why identify as a slave? I think he's referring to me saying that I had enslaved ancestors. If you don't dig up the past and wallow in it, and choosing to live your life does not make you a bad person. Your ancestors would rather you live a long, fruitful life free of the problems of their day. Time to pick a new topic. Josh, my dude, my guy. You were telling a historian to stop doing history. Let me say that again. You are telling me as a historian, stop researching history. That's like telling a chef to stop cooking, telling an archaeologist to stop digging. This is what I do. It's the whole thing. Now, the idea of picking a new topic, the thing that's wild to me about like how old something is, and we say like, it's too old, like drop it. Nobody tells archaeologists, why are you digging up ancient Rome? That was forever ago, just let it go. But 175 years of American history, suddenly it's too far back. Suddenly we're wallowing. And here's the thing, we both know what this is. It's not because the history is too old. It's because sometimes history is going to make you uncomfortable. Actually, history is going to make us all uncomfortable, right? In different ways. And you said your ancestors would rather you live a long, fruitful life free of the problems of their day. Oh, did you ask them? Did you call my ancestors? Are you texting with them? Because here's the thing. I think my ancestors who survived slavery, who built lives after it for my family, for me, I think they'd be okay with their stories being told. I think they would actually want people to know what happened, and they would want the record to be set straight. And even people who had the opportunity to be interviewed in their own words, which I don't think any of my family who were enslaved had that. But that's what the Library of Congress has. That's what I was talking about. But according to Josh, I am literally identifying as a slave by teaching American history. What I feel like wallowing about the history would be like being like, let's stop talking about it. Like, that didn't happen, or I'm tired of talking about that. Like, that feels like it. You're wallowing in ignorance. But my favorite part of your comment, Josh, the cherry on top, is that you think studying history means I cannot have a long, fruitful life. Like these are mutually exclusive. I promise you I'm doing fine. I have a husband that I love. I have kids I adore. I'm home with them. I'm homeschooling them. I have a beautiful hobby, sharing my passion for history with kindred spirits all around the world. And part of that fruitful life, to me, is making sure that hidden history, people's stories are being told and that they don't get erased, including my own ancestors. But if you think those two things cannot exist or coexist, if you think remembering the past makes people miserable, that says a lot more about you than it does about me. And time to pick a new topic. You know what, Josh? I think you're right. I think we're going to pick a new topic. Today's video is about historians who get told to stop being historians by YouTube comments. How's that? Now, to everyone who leaves thoughtful comments or asks real questions or engages honestly, even when we disagree, you are the reason I do this. Thank you for being here. To everyone who wrote these 9 comments, look, I do not hate you. I think you could maybe try harder. I don't know what's happening in American schools, but I am concerned. I am concerned. But I've got more history content coming. The archives are deep, the stories are incredible, and the comments, I'm sure, will be unhinged. Let me know what you think. Otherwise, we'll talk soon.